The tyrannical Tangerine's butt fluffing parade yesterday was a colossal failure. His birthday was an utter failure. And I have been scrolling social media, taking screenshots, gathering up videos so that we could laugh at him because he deserves it. So this picture. It says President Donald Poopy Pants prepares to speak at the 250th parade, basically his butt fluffing parade. But look how happy this man is to have this failure of a butt fluffing parade. This is literally hysterical, and I cannot get enough of listening to these squeaky wheels. Yes, I am talking over squeaky wheels, but the crazy thing is you cannot hear the crowd over these squeaky wheels. That's how quiet this was. This is the headline from Rolling Stone. It says Trump's military birthday parade was a gross failure. The president's military parade, which reportedly cost up to $45 million, was short on attendees, long on political speeches. Before I show you more of the colossal waste of time and waste of money that was the butt fluffing parade, I want to share this post with you. Here's why Kevin over on Threads saying, for his birthday, Donald Trump spent tens of millions of taxpayer dollars on a parade no one wanted, and he couldn't even pretend to enjoy the sound of his MAGA supporters singing happy birthday. 16 years ago, on his birthday, President Obama entered the White House press room to surprise Helen Thomas, a longtime White House reporter who shared the same birthday as him. So on his birthday, he brings a cake to someone else. Here he is giving the cake to Helen Thomas. Here's why Kevin finishes up with, I want to point out that Helen Thomas was a hard-ass journalist and she did not play games. At this point in time at the White House, Thomas called out Obama and his administration several times for the way they handled the press and said they created a smokescreen on social media by controlling the press room despite calling for transparency. She called on them to change, openly, loudly disagreeing with the president, and he still respected her and treated her with kindness for years. That's the difference. The difference between administrations is markedly, you can tell. Emily says, because he's not a narcissistic man baby. We have a man in charge right now that simply looks like he cannot control his own bladder, let alone his emotions. This man should not have the keys to anything. He shouldn't be driving his own car, which I don't even think he drives. He definitely shouldn't have nuclear codes. Look at him. He looks like, Mommy, I just did a poopy in my diaper. Yesterday, I made a post over on Threads. I said, y'all, I'm watching some of Trump's butt fluffing parade, and the crowd at a taco restaurant on Tuesday is probably more crowded. The crowd at a kid's t-ball game is more animated. Bingo at the nursing home after a snack is more hype. This was boring. I literally watched about 10 minutes on live over on TikTok just to see. And it was boring, y'all. I did that so you wouldn't have to do that. Tabitha Speaks Politics says, I love that for him. Yes, I'm fangirling that Tabitha Speaks Politics spoke on my page. This person, Miss Trisha, says, me too. Sahara says, so this is making America great again. I thought this administration was cutting costs. This MFer has been to a ball game, vacations in his resort on the U.S. Now this show. As a Navy war veteran, my flabber is gasted and I'm utterly disgusted. How does a draft dodger have a military parade like Welcome to North Korea 2.0? And he's only been in office for like 5 months. How much of that time has he spent vacationing, going to sporting events? He gets to do so much on the taxpayers' dime. We're literally spending millions of dollars so this dude can get some adulation because he consistently needs to have his butt fluffed. Silky Saint says, indifference is his kryptonite. He will melt into irrelevance just like the wicked witch stuck under the corner of a house and water gets thrown on her. Anyone else see the parallels here? I'm going to go laugh a whole lot more as we see these images. Green Eye Bandita says he's going to say there were 20 million people there and 5 million waiting to get in. But we saw the pictures, we saw the videos, and many of us are making content. He going to try to lie, but we going to have the receipts to pull. Sonic Toad says, I've seen bigger crowd for an 8:30 band at a hole in the wall punk shows. Amalgamated Depiction says, ha 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 ha, the local hospice center has more life than this event did, and there's a number of people on ventilators and in comas. They could have held a shindig more populous than this. Just a sad little display for a sad little man trying to be like his hero, the smaller, sadder two very small men trying desperately to be big. Miss Izzy B says, I love to see the empty streets. Sadie says, great news, although it sucks all this money was wasted on it. And Match This Fly says, this was a colossal waste of effing money. It absolutely was. So Sherilyn Eiffel is speaking on how the Washington Post is reporting on this, saying that they pulled this directly from the White House PR talking points. What the Washington Post has devolved into since Jeff Bezos kissed the ring is deplorable. So here's what the Washington Post says. Planes roared over D.C. on Saturday. Tanks rolled along the National Mall. Brass bands resounded and thousands of soldiers marched past cheering crowds as the Army put on the largest show of military might in the Capitol in more than 3 decades. So they show this picture, and I am so thoroughly confused why they put this man here with a January 6th hat in. This is so disrespectful to post this. This literally, like, who is thinking about their social media presence? This was a wild decision. Someone made this choice on purpose, and this has been up for 17 hours. This grieving life says, from democracy dies in darkness to the Post capitulates in broad daylight. You actually used a picture promoting insurrection. Shame on effing all of you. Reverend Chuck Curry says, I continue to be glad that I canceled my subscription last year. And that's what the 2 people following said, because wow, they are literally kissing the ring. They have become Fox News with a little bit better grammar. Yarny Booknerd says, even the regime were bored. Look at them. They definitely look like they are having a blast, right? Pat Dimitri says, if you want to be North Korea this badly, why don't you move there? This picture is great, from one of the No Kings protests, calling Melania, changing her name to Of Taco, and I am here for that. She is kind of smirking here. She's probably ecstatic that he's having such a terrible birthday. Because you can tell that this woman does not like him. I'm not saying that she's a victim in this situation. Absolutely not. But I love that. I love the way she pulls away, because it just goes to show that this man is probably smelly and a terrible person to be around. I do want to talk about this clip. Are they doing this on purpose because they don't want to be here? Look how out of step they are. I know they're supposed to be like left, 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 right, left. Some of them look like they're walking through the mall. Some of them look like they are marching. Is this on purpose? Okay, so this person named Snack Size Effery says, so President Xi of China is dragging the commander in beef on his Twitter feed. Holy the petty. And then she said, chef kiss. And then this person asked for screen caps, and she provided them. Over on Twitter, President Xi says, how is the new American president's promise of world peace going so far? He asked this question on Elon's social media. And then he says, remember China's parade? And then he says, the call is serve the people in case you want to know. Absolutely hilarious how he is trolling. Gavin Newsom's press office is trolling. They used this picture of Sean Spicer and said, this is the largest presidential birthday party ever. And if y'all don't remember, he used to peddle in lies for the first Trump administration. He didn't last that long, but it's wild. Like, what happened to this man? He left, and like he just basically poof, left. It's kind of crazy. Granny here didn't catch on that they are trolling. She says lies. Those are all lies. That picture is from 2017, and that is Sean Spicer from 2017. She had to come in and set the record straight. Are these people well? All right. Lucas says, this your idea of dialing back the rhetoric and honoring our troops? Like, why? Why do we have to turn it down? Trump is known for trolling and name calling. We get to laugh at him. He had a colossal bust. Typically, I go over to Trump's live social page. He starts posting really early in the morning or really late at night. And yesterday, he stopped posting. He must have really been embarrassed because everybody is laughing at him. Last time he had posted was 10 hours. There was a big gap. He did not actually post overnight. And then his first thing that he posted today was about Iran and Israel. He wants to move past his failure of a birthday party. But we're going to continue to talk about this failure of a birthday party.